Welcome everyone to the Power Half Hour. Today we have a very special guest, one of my very first Mike Ferry friends, one of my very first Mike Ferry mentors, one of my very first role play partners, believe it or not.
Yep.
You're just a superstar, rock star, listing agent, just an amazing human being as well. Welcome. Thank you for being with us today.
Thanks, John. I'm excited.
Oh, yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Monique, can you give us a little introduction about yourself?
I'd love to. Okay, so of course, Monique Walker. I work the Scottsdale, greater Phoenix. Our county is Maricopa County here in Arizona. And I've been selling real estate, John, for 18 years. Can you believe that? Holy moly. I'm too young, obviously, right?
Yes.
No, not really. I have two kids. They're 11 and 13. Can't believe they're that old either. Been married for, oh my gosh, the same amount of time that I've been selling real estate, 18 years also.
18 years. Wow.
Yes. And so I started in 2003, had never bought a house, didn't even know the area, had no center of influence. And in 2004, I went full force just because I had to, John. I interviewed my first broker. She says, "We don't take part-time agents." I said,
Wow.
"Oh crap." And I said, "Okay, let's give it a go." My husband's like, "You have 6 months. No worries financially." And after 30 days, had my first sale and absolutely fell in love with it. So it's just been a long road. I mean, obviously it's a journey and we haven't reached the destination at all. So I'll pause there and see if I should go a different direction so I don't talk for the next 20 minutes about myself.
Well, I'm sure we could have you just talk for 20 minutes about your story. We do want to know, when you first got started in 2003, you're obviously, a young lady just getting out of college, I'm guessing at that
That's
time,
right. Mm-hmm.
right? How did you get over, being young? And I guess when people want to list their homes for sale, they don't usually trust, younger people because they're not reliable, and rookies for that matter, right? How did you get over that? And did you struggle in the first few years, or was it like smooth sailing all the way up?
You know what? It was as smooth sailing as you can be as a new agent. So in 2004, I connected with probably many of you being on John's team, a company that was able to provide me a lot of leads. So it was basically a builder of apartments. And so I was able to help their tenants become homeowners. And the split was terrible, but I didn't care.
Right.
I just wanted to close as many transactions as I could. But you're right. The age was a little bit of a concern. Luckily, I'm a very competitive person. So, I wasn't really focused on that. It was definitely a thing. And luckily I had great brokers to coach me through, how to present, just to be a professional all the way around. I remember I would overdress, right? I would put on glasses, do certain things. I could wear certain jewelry, to make myself not look 26.
Right. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, and it still holds true today, enthusiasm will always trump experience or skills. Mm-hmm. And if you can do all of it, that's obviously the magic sauce. But if you can stay enthusiastic, look professional, know what you're going to say, then people don't really care if you're honestly 25 or 30, unless you're excited about what you're doing. Right. Exactly. And show them that you care.
High level of enthusiasm can trump the skill any day. But if you have both, is what you see here today as a superstar listing agent. Now, Monique, I do want to talk a little bit about, 2004, when you started full-time working for a builder, obviously just happy to be there making sales as a buyer's agent. Now, what happened to you during 2006, 7, 8, 9? Was it a hard road? Was it like just like everything crumbling down, or did you make it through just fine?
Yeah. The only reason I feel like I made it through, those tough years when, 2004, 5, 6 were awesome.
Right.
Right. And then all of a sudden, 2007, I remember like the beginning of the year was still the first quarter was still pretty solid. All of a sudden it was October. And I just remember, I was like, why isn't my phone ringing?
Oh,
Something's happening. Like there's a change. And all of a sudden, that's when obviously the collapse started to happen.
yeah.
And these values just started to go down. Right. And then I all of a sudden went from being a buyer's agent to now trying to help people short sale their properties.
Oh, wow.
And it was really tough. But I would tell you that because I'm a Mike Ferry trained agent and I had an amazing coach, you obviously all have an amazing mentor with John. We created a plan. And the plan was to talk to a whole lot of people
Right.
and do more. I could look at my numbers analyzer and I will in a moment, but I remember just saying, I'm going to meet as many people as possible, and I'm going to start perfecting my listing presentation. So I remember going on a crazy amount of listing appointments. I want to say it was like 230, and I only took like 30 listings.
Wow. Well, you still took 30 listings, but you had to go on a whole crap load.
Because I wasn't very good. And I was still perfecting that presentation.
Right.
So, a combination of having a mentor, a strong mentor that's going to just make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do week in and week out, and then evaluating it every quarter. It's just so huge having that big support that it looks like you guys have, and then tapping into it, especially now because we get to be from home. A lot of us like to stay at home. It's like, no, use that morning to prospect, talk to people, and then go see the people in the afternoon, right? Get out of your comfort zone and just start meeting people and going on a lot of presentations.
Absolutely. So guys, the market is changing, and it will change in a big way, whether you like it or not. You got to be prepared for it. And the main key is having a strong mentor, a strong coach. When did you get started in coaching with Mike?
So I started with Mike in 2005.
Okay.
And I went to my first Mike Ferry event in 2004. And I came back and I was like, honey, I just found my real estate coach.
Wow.
And he's like, okay, well, what's it going to take? Like, how much is it? I was like, $1,000. He's like, hell no. So for 6 months, I went trying to convince him, I need this coach. Like, I see all these successful people. I was a competitive tennis player. I had a coach from the time I was 9 years old, right, to the time I finished my college career at 22.
Wow.
All successful CEOs, right? All successful people in general, right? Always have mentors and coaches. So it took me 6 months. I finally did it. And then I started coaching in 2005.
Wow. And you never left, still with Mike today after 17 years. I'm
actually with the Mike Ferry today. Like, he is my coach.
He is your coach?
He is my coach.
Are you?
Holy moly.
Wow. You guys, this is the big deal, because nobody gets Mike unless you're high level superstar in the organization, which you are. So congratulations. Please say hi to Mike for me.
I sure will.
And I want to touch on this as well. You are my first mentor, first friend in Mike Ferry. I had been in the program since 2008 until 2012. That's the first time I sat up front. I spent an extra $350 to sit up front with the superstars. And the first superstar I meet is this lady right here.
How lucky were we?
She was so giving, and she taught me the importance of two things. Role play, number one, and number two is a mastermind group. I want to talk a little bit about mastermind groups and how that's helped you to become who you are today.
What's funny is that I have lots of notes here for everybody. And like one of my points is to find a mastermind group. Yes. And it's just so powerful. I mean, think about it, you guys. We only know what we know, right? And we know we can be inspired by ourselves to a limit, but when you put on, like right before I got to this call, I put on Grant Cardone, and he has this new book. I don't even know if it's new, but I saw that. I'd never listened to it. It's something about motivation. I started listening to it. I mean, after 5 minutes, I'm like, so excited.
Right.
What am I going to do? So the importance of being around other people that are doing more than you, right? Getting uncomfortable, like being vulnerable to say, hey, this is where I am. And then allowing those other 10 people to, give their feedback as to where they think you should go. I just don't think I would be doing what I do today unless I have 2 mastermind groups that I'm a part of. One's a mommy group of really successful moms, which is really neat because we make that a priority. Being a mom, I would say like a mom, a wife, and then you're a realtor. And then of course, I've got another mastermind group that I've been a part of forever. And I just do it today, do it next week, have it be one of your, first quarter goals, which means you have how many days, 28 days to get a mastermind group for 30 minutes once a week. Honestly, that's all it takes. We all have 30 minutes, right?
Yes, absolutely. And for the people that are already on this call, I think we are already in the mastermind, but people on Facebook who are not, in real estate, but not in a mastermind, that's your homework this week. Get into a mastermind ASAP. So mentor, coach, and a mastermind. What else is the recipe of a superstar agent, of becoming a superstar agent, do you think?
I mean, I really think there's so much to it, but let's just talk about like one thing that's super important. It would be your business plan. And I have it here. Ooh, can you see it? Create a business plan. And, I'm sure, John, you have all your agents do that. And then it's work the plan, like work the plan. You guys, like, be obsessed about the plan. If your goal is to talk to 30 people, like, be obsessed about finishing your 30. Like, if your goal is to get, a listing appointment every day, like, don't quit until you get your listing appointment, because there is so much freedom in working your plan. And I'll touch upon that in just a second. Read that plan every Sunday before you start work on Monday, right? And then evaluate that plan every quarter, because the goal doesn't necessarily change, but the plan might, whether you decide to increase your contacts, whether you decide to go on more appointments, whether you need to change your schedule, whether you need to work out at a different time, whatever it is, the goal hopefully doesn't change. But having that in writing, looking at it, like posting it everywhere. I still do the same things, John. My goals are in my wallet, in my bathroom, in my closet, and then in front of me while I'm prospecting. It just hasn't changed.
What do you know, guys? All the simple stuff, all the little things that, add up to really big things. I have mine right in front of me as well every single day. I read it and I tweak it and I look at it every single day, and it's going to inspire me to take action every single day. So business plan, mentorship, coaching, and a mastermind group.
Right.
So all those things, guys, you need to have those things to have a successful year. So you said 9 years old to 22 years old, being a competitive tennis player. How has that contributed to you being competitive in real estate and being successful?
I feel like it's an advantage that I have, because I know what it is to grind on the tennis court. I know what it is to, hit literally, in one practice session, just thousands of balls, trying to hit that little yellow ball, right where I want it to be, cross court, and then failing and then doing it again, or changing a technique, like changing my forehand and then trying it again, right? And then playing a championship, winning a match and then losing and then going back the next day to go practice. So there's so many times where it's like, I know how to do failure. You know what, John?
Yes. Okay.
I know how to do failure really well.
Yes. See, we come through a lot of failure in real estate. We might not realize it. Any letdown in real estate is a small failure, but a lot of times we get we go backwards, right? How did you keep moving forward when you experience that failure, that setback?
Yeah. So I'm going to get a little spiritual on you, but you're asking Monique Walker, and my source of doing everything is that I want to spread God's love and God's light in everything that I do.
Wow.
And that started during my sophomore year when I became a Christian. So inevitably, I think, why am I doing all of this? It's like really to spread God's love to everybody that I get to touch. So the failures, it's just part of the process, right? I'm just excited, for the next person that I get to connect with, and service, right? And accomplish their goals, right? And then make a great connection so that hopefully they'll refer me to everybody that they know. So I think that if you have a greater purpose, that always helps the failures. And then obviously I've got, my kids and my family that I do all of this for, since I'm the rainmaker, John. So I got to make it happen.
No choice but to make it happen.
You got it.
So you're saying your big why is to spread God's love, right? And then it's family. Anything else that drives you forward? Because you are one relentless lady.
I am. I guess it's the always having a desire, like, how can I be better? Like, how can I show up? How can I learn from this call? Like having the mind of, I haven't gotten there yet. And there's so much that I don't know. So I guess like always being curious. I just know, although I've done a lot, I know so many others that have done more than I have done. And so that exposure to, bigger thinkers and bigger producers, motivates me, like I know, which is why I won't stop coaching with Mike Ferry, because in my little world, if I do, I might be complacent, to possibly do less. Right. So, I just want to keep getting, like, how good can I get until I'm all done?
Yeah. How good can you get, guys? 1% better. You're either growing or you're dying, and we don't want to die. So let's keep moving forward. 1% better, be relentless. And you need that coach and a mentor who's doing more than you, who's done what you've done, who's done what you want to do to move you forward. Right. Mike always says, if you got a mentor or a coach, they're pressing on the back of your neck. Like, what happens when you stop moving forward? It hurts, right? And when you move forward, the pressure releases, and that's what the coach is for. He's putting that thumb on the back of your to move you forward.
Oh, right? I like that.
Don't you get tired though? You are so relentless. You probably make still 30, 40 contacts a day. Don't you get tired, Monique?
I think I never have been one to believe in being burnt out. I remember when my tennis friends, they would be like, I'm burnt out. I was like, what does that mean? Like, wow, okay. You are so fortunate to hold a racket, to be at a tennis club, to have the privilege of playing a sport, and then get to travel for free, get all these, sponsorships. Like, you're blessed.
You're
like,
blessed. Yes.
You're blessed. Go take advantage of it. So where was I? Because I totally lost my thought.
So would you say that you don't focus on being burnt out and the grind because you're grateful for what you have?
Yeah, I'm looking at a little block that says choose gratitude right now that one of my girlfriends gave me. So that's a constant. But I will tell you this. So going back to the business plan, think about this. If you follow the plan, right, and you decide you're going to work from 8 to 6, and you're going to work your plan, and in between that, you're going to have some breaks, right? I decided I always like to work out at noon. That was kind of my jam for a lot of years. I'd go do a yoga class or whatever, go to CrossFit right in the middle of the day, which is really nice. My schedules change a little bit. But if you work the plan, then you have freedom when you're not supposed to work. So then you can take off Saturday and Sunday. You obviously have to build structure, and you have to have the admin staff to be able to funnel, to take those calls and service those clients. But if you do work the plan, I'm taking off, the weekends, and that's been what I've done for a long time. However, John, if I don't work the plan during the week, I might have to work on the weekend, and that makes me super grumpy and tired and burnt out.
So that's where the burnout comes from, because you didn't follow your schedule, didn't follow your plan.
Boom.
So if you keep following your plan, guys, you'll have the freedom that you want. And now talk about accountability then, because how do we keep to the plan?
So good.
Yeah.
So good. Did we ever do that $100 accountability challenge? I think you and I did something.
We did that. We emailed each other for how many years? 30 contacts today, 40 contacts today. We did that back and forth for so many years. We had a small group, guys, and it definitely helped us up our contacts, take more listings. So who do you know that needs to be held accountable or needs an accountability partner? Set it up. How important is accountability to you?
I don't necessarily know if I would have done all of those things if I didn't have somebody like hammering me, because the point is, guys, like Kathy, Clarence, Katerina, like Kaylin, we're all slimy. As much as I'm a godly, motivated, relentless, I can get slimy. And if I have somebody that I know that's going to be texting me at 5 or 6 p.m., did you finish? Are you going to send me that check? However extreme you need to make this, like, do it, because by just doing that will allow you to then take a listing, 2 listings, which I think equates for you a $20,000 or $40,000 check, right? Yeah. So once you start connecting the dots, that truly the number of conversations that you have, do tie into the amount of money that you make at the end of the year. There's a direct correlation, and the numbers don't lie and are right every time.
Right, guys, just follow the numbers, keep each other accountable, do whatever it takes. Extreme accountability. I used to pay $500, if I didn't wake up at 5 a.m. I used to pay $100 to Monique when I didn't hit my contacts. Write 3 checks to your friend or whoever who you don't like. If you don't say it to the friend that you don't like. That is major accountability.
Oh, exactly.
I also wanted to talk about this. When I met you, I think it was 2012, you were doing about 75, 80 transactions. Fast forward 10 years later, 2018, you did 165, and then 190, and then over 200. It didn't seem like you had a quantum leap, but it was exactly almost 25% every single year. A lot of us younger agents want to go quantum leap. Like first year, I've heard a lot of agents, John, I want to make 100 deals and make $1 million. What do you say to that?
Everything takes longer than you expect and that you think.
I love that.
Hey guys, I'm not necessarily a totally patient person either. And I had these grandiose dreams, but again, when you connect with a good mentor that's going to kind of bring you to reality, which we want you to be a big thinker and reach for those big goals. And we also want you to be, realistic and make sure that you can accomplish them. So you stay excited, right?
Yes.
So I hear now, I'm recruiting agents, maybe similar to you too. And an agent said to me, I don't like to have a transactional goal because I don't want to be disappointed.
Ooh. Interesting.
Wow, what a mindset. So it really takes a good mentor, to coach you through, okay, let's talk about the first year.
Yes.
The first year for me was $96,000. Then the goal is always to improve 20%. So what do I have to do to increase that to 20%, right? Do I, naturally, I'm going to get more referrals, right? Because I'm going to do a great job with the clients that I have.
Absolutely.
But do I mix in, because initially maybe most of you or some of you are buyer's agents, which is a great experience. And by the way, I think that's the coolest part of the real estate job, is to help somebody find a home. You give them the keys. They love you. Like, they're going to work with you. They're going to call you to list their house if you stay in touch with them, right? Because you just helped them buy their dream home, right? So you've got that emotional connection. Sometimes as a listing agent, the connection's a little bit different. Would you agree, John?
Absolutely. Sometimes I feel a little bit disconnected, actually, because we got all these systems in place. We're not as communicative as we are hand-holding with our buyer clients, right?
Exactly.
So there's a bit of disconnect for sure.
Yeah. So, so the point is, like, every year, once you develop that plan, to improve 20% is realistic. It's hard work. I mean, it takes a lot of dedication. I would think that would be a really good goal for people to have, is to stay on that 20% improvement.
And yes, be patient, guys. It took Monique 18 years to get over 200 transactions. If you were to spend another 5 to 10 years to get to 100 transactions and make $1 million, would that be okay with you guys? I think so. Just 20% per year. And that's what Monique did exactly. Follow the coach's advice, keep with it, have accountabilities, keep prospecting, have yourself inspired by your why, right? Follow this, guys. So what do you think for yourself, Monique, in the next 5 to 10 years? What does the Monique team look like? And what are you going to do?
So the Monique Walker team right now is composed of 3 agents. And I would like for that to grow to 5, maybe 6 agents. Let's just say in the next few months. My husband and I actually decided, and this is where I would say, you get inspired by others, but don't necessarily compare your plan to others.
Don't compare, guys. Remember, we talk about this a lot.
Yeah. There's probably good messages behind that, but it's basically like, it's almost like the death or the, what am I trying to say, John? It doesn't make you feel good, basically.
No, we say 2 things mainly. Is the thief of joy is comparison.
Thief of joy is
and comparison
so true.
is also an act of violence against the self. That's what we call comparison. We never try to compare our, chapter 1 to someone's chapter 10. It doesn't make sense. Let that inspire you, though. Yes,
exactly.
But not like, oh, I'm crappy because I'm not there. But let that pull you forward. Right.
So, John, we have about 6 more years with our girls before they go off to school.
Then you're empty nester.
Then we're empty nesters. And then I'll probably buy the building, have 30 agents, and just grow and explode. Or not, I don't know. But what I do know,
but you can see the enthusiasm after 18 years is still there. You're still, very, energetic, enthusiastic about the business, which I love to see. Monique, what would you say is one thing that you would say to the agents on this call, the audience, to have us really do 2022 the right way?
Really do 2022 the right way. We've talked about so many good things, and I think we've covered so many of my notes. I'd like to say a couple things, of course, because I can't just go to one. Don't get distracted by shiny objects.
Oh, I love it.
We all do.
Yes.
I feel like I did, just a couple of weeks ago, this person's doing all of this. I want to do some of that, but wait, what does Monique Walker do best?
Yes. Okay. Yes.
And you have to do obviously what you're best at, what your plan says. And don't get distracted. There's a lot of other coaching out there. There's a lot of other messages. There's social media. There's people texting you. Kind of goes back to your plan, stay true to what you want to do, whether, you're a mom like me and I am going to kick some butt for the next 5 to 6 years. be very, very available for my girls because we actually train them and coach them.
Nice.
And decide that I'm going to hold off on doing all those other big things like owning a building, having a big brokerage. I'm going to table that because I know what's most important to the Walker family. And just make our team and our individual agents super, super productive while Monique Walker takes, 120, 130 listings so that we can keep all those good buyer leads coming in and more seller leads. So don't get distracted, stay focused on what your plan is. Have a lot of, joy and enthusiasm, because what else can you do to make this kind of money or potentially make the money that you could make? We're not surgeons. And that's the only thing I can really think of, we're not these inventors of products. All we have to do is be good communicators at our presentation, understand the market. There's a lot of other little things, but the ability for us to make these $1 million is incredible. It's an incredible blessing, right? That we can do it.
It's not a grind, guys. Be blessed. This is a lottery ticket that we have.
Exactly.
Right? So,
oh my gosh. You're absolutely right.
You should feel really, really blessed. So Thank you so much, Monique, for today. How can we send you referrals, and how can we send you agents that are interested in working with you?
Oh my gosh. Thank you. So I love mentoring like you. I love coaching. I am totally transparent in what I do because guess what? I didn't invent it. Mike Ferry did, and I'm just following the plan. And I love to share what he's taught me, and obviously a lot of other great Mike Ferry agents, and of course John. So I would love to find other enthusiastic, like coachable, kind people, right? Good, high integrity people that want to do the right thing, is what I'm looking for in terms of agents. So just in case, agents out here in Scottsdale, Phoenix area, that's what we want. And then of course, would love to help any, buyers and sellers that you guys might have. There's about 20 little cities here, and most of you know them as Scottsdale and Phoenix, but there's a lot of other ones right around there. So, we work the whole Maricopa Valley. Our office is in Scottsdale. We do a lot of business in Scottsdale and in Phoenix. So even if it's a question, a lot of people are buying investment properties here. A lot of people are wanting to get into the Airbnb, VRBO business. We just helped a Canadian sell their property here. So we'd love to service your clients and answer any questions.
Awesome. Well, Monique, I just want to say thank you. I am who I am today because of your help. So thank you so much for everything that you've done for me. And thank you for sharing everything openly with our audience today. We are forever grateful. Hope you have a great 2022.
Thank you for the privilege. Thank you for allowing me to be here, John. You did all the hard work. And agents, if you have any questions, please call me, email me. John will give me your information. I'll give you my cell number now. It's 602-413-8195.
Thank you, Monique. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.